Right, so let's understand the flow of this test case, login function with credentials. So I'll just take you guys through the code and then we will see the step-by-step execution. So here we are creating an object of our login page class by sending it the name of the browser, right? So this is one. So our constructor of the login page would be called, there we are calling a base page constructor using super. So it will go inside this, it will go here. Then we are creating an object of our web test class where all our low level keywords are implemented. Okay, once it is done with the execution of this, then it will come back to the login page and it will call this utils.initialize env var. So in this we are opening our CSV file or txt whatever in read mode, and then we are creating our dictionary having variable names and their values, right? So that's what is happening. And then once we are done with that in the login page constructor, then we are giving a call to a start test by sending it the browser name received, say Chrome now. So start test will go here, Chrome we have got in this parameter. We are calling our open browser. So this open browser is, as we have already discussed, that there is no switch statement in the Python, right? So we are creating one dictionary, we are calling it as a switcher, and in that switcher against the variable names we have got the functions stored which actually does the job of starting the drivers. So that is what is happening here. Then we are calling open URL, and then ultimately this create browser is being called. See here, start test. From the start test, both the functions open browser, open URL are getting called, and then we are creating an object repository, right? That's how it is going. Now let's run it step by step. So I will add a configuration here to start debugging. So here let's go to the PyTest and let's add one configuration, PyTest, right? So I would say check or debug login with valid credentials. So you can give any name to the configuration, right? And you have to just provide it a path of your script file. So here you would provide a path of the script file. So I am providing it with the test cases. So just a minute. Test cases and login functionality with valid credentials, right? Okay and okay. So once you create a configuration, you can see that here, and then you can click to start debugging. Now it is starting a debugging. Now here you have a debug button which will start the debugging. Now see here, it is waiting here first constructor. Now let's go inside it, step into. It will take you here. If you further do step into, see here, it has come inside the parent class constructor which we have called using super. So we are creating an object of our web test. So I'm doing step over. I don't want to get into this. So step over. So I'm back here. Then here let's do step into again, initialize env vars. So here our file is getting read line by line, and it is creating a dictionary having these settings stored in key value pair. So this is key, and this is value. That is how they are getting stored, right? So let me go here and let's step over. Let's do step over. So it is creating a dictionary. I'm doing step over. Correct. It is back into the login page constructor after creating the dictionary. Now let's go into this start test with the Chrome as a browser name. So I'm again doing step into browser, open browser. Now we are calling. Let's again do step into. So here we have got, we are into the switcher now. So we have got a switcher. This is nothing but a dictionary. If you see the definition of this switcher, it's a dictionary only. Dictionary having browser names as key and function names, which has the code to start those drivers as their values, right? So we are into the switcher now here. So I am doing step into step over. So in this variable I have got the name of the function which is stored against that Chrome key. Just a second, I'll show you that. You can see it's a function name. Start, you can see start Chrome driver, right? And then I'm saying start, it's like saying start Chrome driver and open close parenthesis, so calling, right? So I'm saying step over now again. So now it is calling that function and invoking, right? So here it is. We are now we are done with the driver. Then here step over. So it has, right. Now let me put a breakpoint here. Now we are done with the debugging of this. So let me now put a breakpoint here. Now we don't want to debug anything else. So let's start the debugging again, because now you are clear about the flow till that point, right? Wait. Just a second. Yesterday I had added this path. Let me start this PyCharm again. Right, now let's start debugging. Why it is not opening the driver? Maybe my browser has been updated and my driver is still older one. That could be the reason. Let me check, because it happens if your browser has been updated, so should be your driver, otherwise it doesn't start the browser, right? So let me check. So help Google Chrome, and it's 91. So it has been updated, right? Reopen. Okay, it has been updated actually, so we need to update the driver now. Right, now we need to update the driver, guys, otherwise it will not work. So let's do that. So if you observe, guys, let me tell you this. If you observe this kind of a behavior, that your script is running but your driver is opening a browser and it is immediately closing it, it is just flashing, your browser window is just flashing. So the reason could be your browser has been updated to the next version, whereas your driver is still the old version of driver. So because of that, they both are not able to communicate with each other. Okay, so let's download Google Chrome. And let's take a driver of, oh sorry, I should say Google Chrome driver. Now 91 win32.zip. Let's go to the downloads folder. This is the downloads folder. Let's do Control C and let me go in this project, copy path. And where is my driver? Sorry. Drivers. Okay. So I have my drivers. So I'm going to unzip that. Unzip this driver Win32 here. So extract here. Correct. Now we have got it. So let me delete this and let me unzip it again. Now we have got our driver here. This is the new driver now we have got, which is compatible to our browser version. See, now it is opening up a browser properly. Previously it was just flashing the browser, right? Yes. So this could be the reason your driver, I mean the browser actually updates, right, automatically, and if your browser has been updated since you executed your scripts, and now if you observe this kind of a behavior, so definitely the reason could be. And if you don't have any changes into the code, no changes into the application, but still the tests which were running fine, they suddenly started giving you the issues. And if you observe the issue, if it turns out to be this, that the browser window is just flashing out, so the reason could be the updation of the browser and incompatibility with the driver, right? So we have got our application open. Now we are here, create object repo. Now let's see how it is creating. So we are sending it a name. So here we are. So we are taking the name, I mean we are deriving the whole path. then I would say step over. I'm opening a file. So the file is getting opened and its reference is getting stored in this variable. So in Python there is a CSV package which has got a reader function. So you have to just tell it what is the delimiter, what is the column delimiter in that file. So delimiter is comma. So this is a parameter, a default parameter you can say. Then we are reading that line by line. So step over, and then you can see here row. In this row we have got username field, 3 sections. We have got 3 sections after splitting the line with comma, username field, by_id and txt username, right? That's what we have got. I'll show you that file once again to make it clear. Where is that? Object repositories. Just a second. Let me. Here it is. So this is our file and this is our one line. So our one line consists of these 3 things. So we are splitting and we are getting these 3 in a list, right? That's what we have got here. Now let's go back to this. So we have got it. Now it is calling row of 1 and row of 2. So row of 1 is by_id. You can see row of 1 is by_id. Here by_id, and row of 2 is txt username. So with this it is calling this find and return element. So let's go step into. So here we are now. So I have got by_id and the locator. Now what we are doing is we are going to call this function, the another one, with these things. So let's step into inside this. So see here, it has got one dictionary. It has got one dictionary having by_id, the token, and the actual locator function stored as a value, right? So I'll say, so by_id, a dictionary by_id is going to give you this, a tuple by.id and the locator. Just a minute. Jai. Right, so tuple it is. So we are, just a minute guys, let me go to another room. Right, so we have the tuple. So we are storing against the tokens, tuples, which will identify the elements for us with the help of driver.findElement. Right, so in driver.findElement from Python it requires a tuple. Okay, so that's what we are providing here, right? So we are getting this tuple. So I'm doing step over again. So this is just defining a dictionary, right? So every key, I mean every token from our file, whatever we mention in the file to represent the identification technique. So that is the key in this. The tuple is a value to the key, and now let's step over. So we have got the tuple, right? So you can see the strategy token, right? So it will return a tuple. So strategy token is by_id. So it will return a tuple. So which tuple it will return? So it will return this tuple having by.id and the locator, right? So let's do step over. So we have got this tuple. So that tuple is here. You can see. I'm just hovering. You can see the tuple is there. Tuple having ID and this, which we are sending to drivers find element. So this find_element requires the tuple. That's what I was mentioning, right? So it requires a tuple. And then what we are doing, please understand how we are passing it. We are just not passing the variable, we are saying star and variable. So what is the difference here? So when you mention only the tuple variable, so that the variables inside that they remain in the tuple, and that entire tuple gets sent to the called function. But if you want to spread out, spreading means you have got the tuple of two elements and you want these two elements to be sent as a two elements and not a tuple as a single element, right? So this is called a spreading operator. I think we have talked about it when we learned tuple and lists. If you check our Python basics codes, you will definitely find the explanation on this there, right? So this is a spread operator. So we are spreading the contents of the tuple and we are sending it to this, and which is finding the element. So our element is getting found. So this element is getting found, this username, and it is getting returned. So element is getting returned, element is stored here. Now you can see that web element is here, which we are putting into this object repo dictionary against the key. So key is in our env hash, this is the key, username field. So against this we are storing the web element found using this, right? That is the idea. So again it is reading the next line from the CSV. It is doing same thing. It is splitting that line, the token and the dictionary, token and the locator. It is sending to this, getting the element found and storing it in a dictionary. So that is what is happening. So object repo will give you the dictionary, object repo dictionary having web element stored. And then, so here we are now. Now do login. Let's go into this. Now do login. So how are we? This is the enter text. So enter text needs the web element to enter the text into. So how are we sending the web element? You can see we are saying object repo, a dictionary in which this function stored all the web elements. So we are saying t.object repo and the key. So this will retrieve the web element stored against the key and will send inside the enter text. Now let's see. I'm doing step into. So first of all, if the value is there, it is getting cleared. So this is Selenium function. So this is Selenium again. Send keys we are doing, and the text to be entered we have got here. So I'm doing step over. So you can see that the text has been entered here, right? So the same way we will have the password entered. So password is entered. See, password is entered and sign in button would be clicked on. Perfect. So this is how the flow is, guys. So you see this particular code, I will share it to you, or I think I have already uploaded. Let me check. Just a second. Let me complete this flow. Continue. Right. So yeah, our test case is passed. Now let me push this. Just hold on for a second. Copy X path, copy path, and let me. This is where I am. Correct. On projects implemented. So this is our project. Okay, automation project. What I'll do now is I'll just copy this. Copy and our bash folder. So just a minute. Yeah. So I'll just put it here. I'm just replacing our project, right? So we have got the framework here. Now let me stop the recording.